know, we hear all the time, oh, he's a great athlete. He's a great athlete. Oh, he's good in soccer. He's good in hockey. He's good in all sports. What makes a person great in a lot of sports is they know how to play the sport. They know each position. And it's no different in paintball. Because when you know how to play each position, you know what the player is going to do before they even do it. So you're anticipating what their next move is going to be before they even make that move. So that's very important in the sport of paintball, is knowing how your front player is going to move and what they need in order to move. And one of the things they need in order to move is a back player. We play on a man-made field. It's not a speedball field. Our rules are a little different, and the field is different. It is not speedball. We do not use a lot of the same rules as speedball. It's different. When we play, we usually just play with hopper. The reason we play with hopper is we like to be able to move. We like to be able to plan out strategies. We used to play with pods, 10, 11, 12 pods, and what we found is people didn't move, they just stayed there and shot off paint. So what we do now, we just play with hopper mostly. Sometimes we play with a pod or two, but it's usually just hopper, and we find that people move more. There's more strategy involved, there's a lot more work involved. So as a back player, what I want you to know is how to play the position as a back player. Too many times in a game, I'll see people like this, way in the back, just leaning against the barricade, and the first thing they'll say, I can't move, they're posted on me. Well, really, as a back player, if you're doing that all the time, you're not helping out your team. So I'm going to give you a few tips, and hopefully this will make you a better player, a stronger player, a more aggressive back player. You don't have to run up the field as a front player to be aggressive. You can still be aggressive as a back player, and we do have at our field aggressive back players. One of the most important things is stop shooting all over the field. If you're only playing with an hopper, 250 rounds, your paint is going to be gone in a couple minutes because you're shooting everywhere. Oh, there's someone over there, someone over there, someone over there. I'm just going to keep shooting. You're unproductive. If you're doing that, you are very unproductive. The best thing you could be doing is know your position. Knowing your position, knowing how to move, knowing how your front player is going to move is very important. Because as a back player, you're going to help your front player move forward. So the first thing you're going to do, as a back player, you're going to be watching the field. You're going to be singing out where your opponents are so that your front player will always know where your opponents is located. Because they're not able to get their hit up. They're going to be under more fire than you. They're closer. The ball is going to get to them faster and easier than you way in the back. So your job is to be always yelling out positions of the opponents. Being down behind the barricade like this, you don't know where anyone's to. People are moving right now. You got no idea, no clue. They could be right there in front of you. You don't know. It is hard to get your head up. You're under fire. But it's also hard for the front player to get their head up. So if you're down like this, behind the barricade, and your front player is down behind the barricade, the game's going to be over very quickly. And you don't have to worry about getting shot at once or twice. You're going to get lit up. So it's very important for you to be up watching. If your front player says, watch my left side, your job is to watch his left side. Because now your front player believes that my left side is covered. They may be vulnerable to the left side. They may be behind a barricade where if someone moves up the left side, they're going to open fire on them. And if your front player is gone, they're coming after you. So you always watch the left side. When your front player says, watch my left side, you watch the left side. Do not be shooting to the right because you see the player to the right. If your player says watch the left side, you watch the left side because your front player has a plan. He's getting ready to move or he's getting ready for a kill shot. So you watch the left side because your front player believes I don't have to worry about my left side because it's covered. Because they cannot be watching the entire field trying to keep everyone's heads down while they try to move or try for a kill shot. So when they tell you to watch left side, that's the only job that you have right now, is to watch the left side. To watch the left side. That's it, left side. When your front player indicates he's going to move, use hand signals. Don't yell out, front player shouldn't yell, I'm going to move. No, hand signals. So now your job, watch the left side, even though they mightn't have said watch the left side. If they're going to move right, which they indicated they're moving right, you're going to watch their left side. Because your front player that's moving right, I have the gun up, watching the right, watching the front, right, as they're moving. You're going to keep players down. Your job then, watch the left side, shoot. So they're moving to the right. Very important. You have to help your front players advance forward. As a back player, your job is extremely important. You're going to help your front players advance. Once your front players move up the field, your job is very simple then. You're going to start moving to the left. They move to the right. So if you go ahead and move to the right, what's going to happen? You're bringing your entire team to the right. Your opponents are going to circle down around the left, come in either on the side of you or behind you. Game over. So you need to keep going to the left. From the time game begun, your front player moved forward. Your opponents is still moving. So your opponent, know where your front player is. So they moved to try to get a kill shot. So now, when you go to move, you indicate to your front player, Joe! So now Joe knows you're going to move. Joe's going to focus on the right side, because that's where he's to. He's going to try to keep the heads down of those players when you get ready to move. You're going to move to the left. Your gun is up. You're going to focus on the left. You're going to move because your right is covered. Your front on the right side is covered because Joe got your back. Because Joe wants you up further. Because they want to be able to close in that gap and take out some players. So Joe's going to help you advance forward. Joe's going to take the right side of the field. You're going to take the left. You're going to move to the left. You're going to shoot to the left. You're going to move up. Now your opponent's already moved in the beginning. They also seen where your front player was, and they probably came up a little bit further. So what happens now when you move to the left, you may have them pinned in. You may have them in a position where you're going to get a kill shot. Now, back. Very important. Stop staying in the back the entire game. Stop saying they're pinned on me, I can't move. If that was the case, your front players will always be pinned down. They would never be able to move because there's always someone shooting at your front players. So what you need then is work with your front player. Your front player will work with you because they want you to move up. They need firepower to their left or to the right, whichever position they want to move. Now a lot of this we're talking about just two players. There's more players on your team, but if you got a bigger field, it still means left and right. Because if your field is a lot wider, what's going to happen is when you got one or two players way over on the right, their opponents is only focused on the ones that's further to the right because they're the closest ones. So chances is that's where most of the firepower is going to be over there. Both guys, the opponent and your teammates, are focused on each other while you guys over here on the left is trying to move up the field. So it's very important as a back player to stop shooting everywhere. You got 250 rounds, you're only playing with an opera, that can go in a couple minutes, then you're out of the game. Now your front players has to try to advance on their own. Can't do it. Front player can't focus on four players. They can only focus on what's in front of them to the right, and that's extremely difficult at the best of times. They can't focus what's on the left. So when they go up to shoot on the right, the left players, your opponents, are moving down. The game's going to be over very quickly. So it's very important as a back player to know how to play the game. Know how your front players are going to move because they all move around the same. You want to go to the right, they need you to lay down paint so they can move to the right. So you can focus on the left side. If they tell you to focus on the right side, they're not worried about the left. You focus on the right side. Whatever they tell you to do, you need to do because they're telling it to you so that they can advance. Knowing how to play this game is no different any other sport, no different than soccer, no different than hockey, no different than baseball. When you know how each position is played, a lot of times there's very little communication between players. Because you know the move and the play that's going to be made before it's even made. So right away when they say, I'm going forward, you know he's going to go to the right or straight ahead. So right away you're going to focus on the left. You don't even need to be told that. I'm going to the right, you're going to focus on the left. I don't need to tell you focus on the left. I'm moving to the right. Back player, you focus on the left. It's not a difficult game to play, but you have to step up your game. Spending your entire game like this, how exciting is this? I know it's nervous. I know it's difficult to be able to get your head up without getting shot, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more aggressive you get, the more confusion you put in your opponents. Because they expect you to be down behind your barricade, especially if they know how you play the game. If it's on a field that you play every week, they know how you play. All of a sudden you step up your game, now you put them in panic mode. Because they don't expect it. So remember, work hard as you can, know your position, move up as your front players advance. Do not stay in the same area, because the last thing you want on the field is people coming around you. When you start off, you spread out. You take both sides of the field and you try to move up. If you keep moving behind your front player, if you got 3 front players over and another back player, you keep moving to the right with your front players, your opponent's coming up the left side. When they come up the left side, they're coming to get you. They will get you. So a lot of times we'll say we got to breach the right side because our opponent's only got 1 man on the right side. We got to try to get that side, that player out. Once we get the player out, we can move up the right side. So communication is very important. Letting your front player know where all your opponents are is extremely important. Helping your front player advance forward, move forward, extremely important. Not wasting paint, randomly shooting everywhere because you've seen a head stick up or a gun stick out and you're way in the back and that person's way down at the other field. It's a waste of paint. Know how to play the game. Know how to get your front players to move forward. Cover their side that they indicate. If they're moving right, you're going to take their left. Very important you focus on the left when they're moving right. If they're moving left, you focus on the right. If they're moving straight ahead, you try to indicate you're taking their left, they focus on their right. Very important, very simple when you think about it. You're back here in the back. Shots will get back to you, but you are under no amount of firepower as your front player is under. They rely on you to help them advance forward. So regardless how new you are to the sport, how many times you have played, doesn't matter. You are an extremely important player in the sport of paintball. Very important, because you're going to help your player, your advanced player, your aggressive player move forward. Without you, they can't move forward. They're stuck. They're behind a barricade, and the barricade is getting lit up from all angles and all sides of the field. So when you're able to focus on the left side, they're able to focus on the right when they move. It gets a lot easier. Your front players are moving a lot faster, which is causing chaos and confusion with your opponents. Just a second ago, your advanced player was your aggressive player was behind bunker number 4, and now they're behind bunker number 6. It's that easy. It's that quick. You want to move quick, move fast. It's your back players that's going to help win the games. Once you know how to play, you're going to have a lot more fun. Because now, instead of you spending 90% of your game like this, you're going to be up like this. You're going to be up like this. You're going to be shooting where you're supposed to be shooting. You're going to be shooting in areas that's going to help you win more games. And even if you don't win the game, you're going to advance as a player, as an individual, a lot quicker, a lot faster, and you're going to enjoy the sport a lot more. And before long, you're going to decide that you want to be up front because now you know how it's played. You know what your back players are going to do to help you advance up the field. So it's very important. Step up your game. Observe everything that's going on. Spend less time beyond your bunker. Spend more time yelling out positions. Spend more time helping your front players advance up the field. And you'll enjoy this sport a lot more.